a woman who saw her dead brother on vacation, and a terrifying Ouija board story, we have some crazy videos this week. Another week, another weird and creepy compilation. In case you missed it, here's a roundup of all the videos I shared on all my other socials this week. If you see a TikTok that you think should be included in one of these videos, make sure to go tag me. And just a reminder that Glitch Community Plus members here on YouTube get early access to videos, which means they get to see these videos a day or two before everybody else. And if you'd like to become a member, you can click the join button next to my profile picture. But right now, let's get started, so sit back, grab a snack, and let's get weird! This person saw her dead brother while on vacation, and her dad saw it too.
I saw my dead brother while I was vacationing in Italy, and I'm going to tell y'all the story. Now, I know this is going to sound crazy, and I know I'm going to sound crazy when I tell y'all this, but just bear with me. This is not something I would lie about. This 100% happened, and I wasn't the only one who saw him. So we were in Italy for a total of 7 days, and during those 7 days, we stopped in several different cities, and we would stay like a night or two in each city, so that way we could like tour and kind of look around and everything. This particular story happened in Manarola, I believe is how it's pronounced. It's a coastal city, so it's like right on the water. And the goal of this day was we were going to walk around Manarola, take a ferry ride to a different city that was like across the way, and it would be the end of the tour. So before I continue with the story, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of context as to how my brother passed. My brother passed last August in Austin, Texas. He went cliff jumping at Lake Travis with some friends, and I guess he just hit the water wrong. It either knocked the breath out of him and he just couldn't recover, or he ended up drowning. Still not sure. Honestly, don't know if I ever want to know fully. But yeah, that's what happened. He was cliff jumping. Remember that. So back to the original story, we were meeting with our tour group so that way we could all line up for the ferry ride. And I'm going to show y'all exactly how the layout was of this city, just so you can kind of get an idea. So this was the view of where we were standing in the city area before we started walking down towards the water and like towards where the ferry was. So it's literally like city and then drop off, and then there's water, and then there's a bunch of like little rocks in the, or not little, ginormous fucking rocks in the middle of the water, and people were like climbing on top of them and like jumping off of them. You get the gist. Now, if you went down the cliffside, they had built in a staircase so that way you could walk down closer to the water and take like a little pathway towards where the ferries were. This picture isn't the best, however, it is the only picture that I have where it kind of shows everything. So if you look right underneath here, this is the staircase where we were at to lead to the ferries. And if you look right here, there's a giant fucking rock right in the middle facing the staircase. So it was my mom, my dad, and my little sister and me. My mom wasn't really watching any of the people jump off of the rocks because it just hurt too much for her to watch. So she was turned around. She didn't see any of this. However, my dad and I both were watching people jump off of this rock, okay? And the top of this rock was completely eye level to where we were standing at on the stairs. So we were pretty much like standing in front of the people that were on top of this rock about to jump off. So, you know, we watch a couple of people at first jump off and everybody's like having a good time, whoop-de-woo. And then I see this one guy get on the top of the rock. And I'm tearing up because I remember exactly how he looks. So this guy gets on the top of the rock. He's waiting to jump, but there's like a couple of people in front of him. But I end up making eye contact with this man. And I was like, that's Jaden. Like, that's my brother. And I said it out loud. I was like, that's Jaden. And I turned around to my dad. And I was like, does that not look like Jaden? And he looks and he's like, holy shit, that's Jaden. So I'm not the only one that saw this. And the guy looked exactly how my brother looked on this day. This was for my 21st birthday. We went to Mexico, and this was in one of the cenotes. They lost all of our swimsuits and stuff like on the bus, and he ended up just jumping into the cenotes like in his underwear. Like, it was one of the funniest memories on that trip. And the dude on that day looked exactly like how my brother looks in this picture. Like, I kid you not. On top of that, my brother had a very distinct Mac Miller tattoo on the front of his right thigh. Like, I haven't seen many people with that tattoo. And the guy that was jumping off of the rock had the exact same fucking tattoo in the exact same spot. Anyways, after I turn around to my dad and I bring it to his attention, I turn back around to the rock and I look at this guy who I can only assume is my brother. making eye contact with me. And he just smiles. And then he jumps off the rock. After that happened, we had to wait in that area for about 20 minutes for the ferry to arrive. And I sat there and I watched that rock for 20 straight minutes. When I tell y'all, that dude never came out of the water. He never got back up on the rock to jump again. He never swam to a different area. Like, I didn't see him. It's like he jumped into the water and he vanished. I know it sounds crazy, but I kid you not. Like, this man jumped and we didn't see him again. And even my dad asked, he was like, do you see him? Do you see him? Literally, like, never saw that man again. He jumped and just, like, fucking disappeared. And look, I'm not religious, okay? Like, I grew up in church. I'm not gonna get into my fucking religious trauma right now. I don't go to church. I don't necessarily believe in, like, an organized religion or a God, but I do believe that there is a higher power out there, and I do believe in energies and guardian angels, and I fully believe that that was my brother's guardian angel. If not, like his energy was there, like, it was there. And that whole trip was, like, for his birthday, because his birthday is on June 14th. So originally that whole trip was for his birthday and also to celebrate, like, our graduations from college. And this happened 3 days before his birthday. So I feel like if that was him, I think that that was his way of just, like, kind of letting us know that he was there, like, that he was there and that he was also enjoying the trip. I don't know. It was so fucking crazy. But it also kind of makes me feel a little more sane knowing that I wasn't the only one that saw him. Like, my dad, deadass, was like, that looks exactly like Jaden. And the fact that, like, the dude just, like, disappeared. It's like, bro, that wasn't some, like, twin or, like, look-alike. Like, that was him. Like, I'm fully convinced. Call me fucking crazy, but, like, that was him. People tell me all the time, like, I don't know how you do it. Like, you're the strongest woman that I know because, like, you're handling such a tough loss, like, so much better than I would have handled it. But truth is, like, I still have really hard days. But I feel like that was something that was very healing for me. Because it's like, I don't know. It was his way of just, like, letting us know that, like, he's good. And that he's still around. But yeah, a few days later, we ended up celebrating his 25th birthday while we were still in Italy. And we just knew that he was really excited for the trip. And I think that's his way of letting us know that he had fun and that he was glad that we were having fun. So, yeah, I love you, Jaden.
Did Florida turn into the upside down? Like, seriously, what are these shiny things?
Never seen something like this. There's like tens of thousands of these reflective objects in the air. I thought they were birds at first, but looking closer, it's literally just these reflective objects. What is this? It's all coming closer here, so I'm gonna get out of here.
Was this person astral projecting or was it something even stranger?
I still get chills every time I think about the story, but here it goes. So one day I went to my grandpa's house and he didn't have a room for me, but he had a couch that I would sleep on. And this was like once or twice a week type of thing that I would do this. And one night, it was a Wednesday night, I went to sleep on his couch and I woke up in the middle of the night and had to use the bathroom. But when I went to move and get up, I couldn't. I was stuck, like totally stuck. Sleep paralysis, like my arms would not move, my mouth wouldn't move, my eyes couldn't move, like nothing was moving. I was stuck and I was like trying to move. I started freaking out. My heart started beating out of my chest and I was like, get up in my head. I'm like, come on, get up, move. What's wrong with you? And I'm there like freaking out, having an anxiety attack because I cannot move a muscle. I've never had this happen to me. And I start yelling in my head like super, super loud. And I'm like, get up. And finally, I roll over and I land on the ground and like on my hands and knees. And I'm like, yo, that was so weird. Like, what's going on? Why couldn't I move? Like, freaking out, but whatever. So I like stand up, I grab my phone, turn the flashlight on, and I go to the bathroom. And the way that my grandpa's house is set up, it's like living room's here, and there's a wall, and then you have to walk around the wall to get to the bathroom. So I do that, and I get to the bathroom, and I go to put my phone down on the sink, and like I missed the sink like 3 times. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? So like I like put the tip of the phone on the edge of the sink and like pushed it on there. And I'm like, all right, that's also weird, whatever. I go to pee, I wash my hands, I grab my phone, and now I walk back to the couch where I was sleeping. And when I turn the corner, my flashlight's on, I put the flashlight up, and I see myself on the couch, still asleep. But I'm holding my phone, looking at myself. And now I'm like every single hair on my body stands up, and I'm freaking out. And I'm like, yo, what the? And I pinch myself as hard as I can to like see if I'm awake. And it hurt. And I still see my body there, just laying there. And I didn't know what was going on. And so, but like something inside of me told me to like walk towards my body. So like I walked towards my body, and now I'm standing right over myself, like with the flashlight on, like putting the flashlight to my head, to my feet, and like I see myself. And now my heart is just again, and like I don't know what's going on. And then like something told me to just like reach out and like touch my body. And so like I reached out, and like a super slow motion, and as soon as I touch my chest, I wake up like and it's like I came back into my body. I didn't sleep for 3 days after that. The craziest dream, not dream, I don't know what to call it, but that changed my life. I went crazy into astral projecting and the spirit like realm, all that crazy insidious stuff, super scary stuff. But yeah, I'm glad that's never happened again.
This person's Ouija board story will seriously give you chills. Like, oh my God.
Okay, gather around because the story might make you think twice about ever messing with the supernatural. I promise you guys my paranormal experiences, and I already skipped a day, so I already broke a promise. So I'm gonna remake this promise doing it now. I'm gonna stop cleaning, hence why I look a mess, and I'm gonna tell you the story so I can fulfill my promise, okay? I don't know how I feel about my glasses on right now, so let's get into it. Okay, so moving past the dolls, this was my first experience with a Ouija board. So when I was about 10 years old, my mom has always told me never to fuck with a Ouija board, okay? And she would explain to me like it opens the doors to presence we don't really need. And as like a child, you know, you don't really understand what that means, you know? Honestly, growing up, I was scared of my mom. Not because she was like abusive or anything, but my mom's just a hardcore bitch and she don't fuck around. Every time I fucked around, I found out, you know? So yeah, we don't play with mama, but we love her to death. She's my best friend. Besides the point, okay? When I was about 10 years old, I was at a sleepover with one of my friends. We're gonna call her Ruby, okay? And during the sleepover, it was me, her, and then 5 other girls, and we stayed in the RV that was behind her house. And her parents, of course, stayed in the house. We were having a blast, okay? We were eating pizza, we were playing games, we were laughing, living our best 10-year-old life, okay? We're having a great time, and then pause. One of the other girls pulls a Ouija board out of her bag. When she pulled out the Ouija board, everybody else was hype as fuck. Not me. No ma'am. My gut was already screaming, don't do it. This is a bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea. I held true and made my mama proud, okay? I was like, I'm not touching that. And of course, I got called a chicken, like, you're such a chicken, like, you're so scared. First of all, bitch, I'm not the one who's got issues. Just kidding, I ain't gonna do. Of course, they start asking the board, like, is anyone there? Hello, are you here? Do you want to speak with us? Hello. For a few minutes, there was no answer. But suddenly, the planchette moves to yes. My heart dropped, okay? And all these girls are like, stop it, Ruby, stop moving it. And Ruby's like, I'm not moving it. And all the girls are like, okay, someone's moving it. But everyone's like, I'm not moving it, I'm not moving it, I'm not moving it, I'm not moving it. And here I am. Ruby then asked, what is your name? And the silence was so loud. But then Ruby was feeling, this girl was feeling brave, okay? She starts taunting this spirit. Oh, are you scared? Just tell us your name, you coward. And that is where the darkness started, bitch. The air in the RV got so thick. Then, okay, I got chills already. The planchette starts moving frantically, okay? And I'm talking like figure 8 frantically, literally figure 8ing, bitch. I mean like this, non-stop, okay? I have, look, can you see it? I got fucking chills, bro. I don't like it. Kind of don't want to say out loud what it spelled, so I'm gonna write it down. Or maybe that's worse. I don't know. I'm gonna use sign language. And I'm gonna do it y'all's way. Did you catch that? Ruby laughed at this name and said, "What kind of name is that?" And I felt an instant chill run down my spine. The atmosphere just shifted, and then literally the lights just turn off. Of course, we all start fucking screaming. Like, what else are you gonna fucking do in a situation like that? I want to scream right now. Oh my god. I mean, the lights were out for probably 45 seconds until they just turned back on. And it wasn't like somebody just like flipped the power. I mean, those things flickered and then turned the fuck off. When I looked at Ruby, her eyes were rolled in the back of her head and she was completely unresponsive. You know, me and the other girls, like, we're shaking her and we're like, Ruby, 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 trying to get her to snap back into whatever fucking realm she's in. And right after that, she just fell backwards and it looked like she was sleeping. And me and the other girls are just like, and we're sitting here thinking like this shit's a prank, you know? I know something you don't. I know something you will never. Shut up. The tension was just so unbearable. Like, all the girls were like, okay, yeah, we're going to sleep. Me, I barely slept, okay? I knew something was not right, okay? I slept for maybe an hour. The next morning, I felt off. I was the first one to get up. I'm looking around, and Ruby, nowhere to be found. So I woke everyone up, and I'm like, yo, dude, do you know where Ruby went? They're like, no. What the fuck? Okay, so maybe, you know, she went inside. Who knows? So we all are like freaking out, kind of like, where is she after what just happened last night? The fuck? And we go into her house. Oh my god, bro, chills. We go into her house and we're asking her mom, like, hey, do you know where Ruby is? And her mom's face went blank. Like, what do you mean, do I know where Ruby is? We're like, she didn't come inside, right? And her mom's like, no. So we all take off outside and we're screaming like, Ruby, Ruby, where are you? Where are you, bitch? They lived on a lot of land. And behind the RV, we start walking, and there this bitch is. She's laying down in the grass, face down. Her mom goes to grab her, and she's like kind of shaking her, like, Ruby, wake up, because she's breathing. Ruby starts screaming to the top of her fucking lungs, okay? That scream is something I will never get out of my head. It's, yeah, no. So after she screamed, Daddy hears it. Ew, that was so southern. What the fuck? Her dad hears her scream. And he comes running out. He's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And she's not saying anything. Okay? So her mom, scared as fuck, as she should be, like the rest of us, okay? She goes inside and she calls her parents to come pick us up. Boom. And keep in mind, this was a time, like, I didn't have a cell phone. I don't think any of us held a cell phone at 10. I don't know. The times are changing. It's weird. I personally did not have a cell phone. So when I was keeping up with friends, it was using the house phone to contact them, okay? Like, yeah, we had internet, but Facebook wasn't a thing. We didn't have any way to, like, contact her, like, hey, are you okay? Like, it was just, nobody heard from her and nobody called her. The scariest part of this, it gets worse, unfortunately. She didn't return back to school the rest of the year, okay? We're probably halfway through the year. Bro, I cannot deny the fucking chills. The next year, Ruby comes back to school. But it's not fucking Ruby, bitch. I barely recognized her, and I haven't spoken to her in, what, 6-7 months, right? Her eyes, just looked off. They were very hollow. Her skin was pale as shit. No, I'm not talking about Edward. Sorry. There was something about her that just made me feel very unsettled. Like it's so hard to describe that feeling. It was like an unsettling darkness. That's the best way I can describe it. Like I didn't feel right, you know, and she didn't look right. But the creepiest part of all of this, I have tried to search for this girl, and you know me, bitch. You give me a name, background, where you live, your phone number, all of your email addresses, who you're related to, bitch, I will find everything, okay? I found nothing on her. Literally nothing. It's literally like she vanished. I can't find her. No Facebook, no Instagram, no Google, no True People Search, no arrest. Like, it's like she never fucking existed. I'm going to say, without a doubt in my mind, I watched that bitch get possessed, okay? And like what you see on TV, bitch, what you see on TV shows, movies, like it's very, I don't know. I think something's telling me not to talk about this anymore. Heed my warning. Don't fuck with the Ouija board. And I know for some people they say, oh, it doesn't work. I don't know what to tell you, okay? But no. And if you know anything about the person that she was speaking with through the Ouija board, you know now, because as a kid, I didn't know what the fuck that was, who the fuck that was, what it meant. Now that I know that, just don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. What if you open a door to something that never wanted to be found? I just think some spirits are better left undisturbed. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Now, you already know I love haunted shit, but I have gotten chills telling this whole entire story. My heat is on in this house, and I'm gonna stop talking about it, and I'm gonna get off. Love y'all, bye.
Did a spirit or their guardian angel actually bring them something that they asked for?
I want to tell you my glitch in the Matrix story from when I was a child. So for context, this is where I grew up. This was my house. And so it's a big circle and it's in a very rural area. Like, very rural. So since I lived here, you could see anyone going around the circle because they had to come up and go on this road and either go straight or down. That'll be important later. So I was a very young child and my mom was gone at work. She's a flight attendant, so she'd be gone for a few days at a time, and my grandma was watching me and my brother. My dad was in the National Guard at the time. He was stationed in Illinois, so he was also gone. So it was after dinner and my grandma had asked us if we wanted ice cream. And I out loud said, man, I wish we had root beer because I really want a root beer float. And I kid you not, like not even 5 seconds later, the landline rings. Our home phone. I answer it, and there's a man on the other end. And he, no hellos, no acknowledgements. He gives me a fucking riddle. Now, I could not tell you the exact wording he used. It's been many, many years. But I know it had something to do with following, looking for the cow. And my mom was obsessed with cows. We had cow towels, our mailbox had cow spots, our propane tank had cow spots. So it was something to do with looking where the cow print is. So I hang up with this random man who just gave me a riddle. I tell my grandma because she's standing right there, and for some reason we just decide we're gonna solve this riddle. So we just start going to the places in the house with cow print, and eventually we get to the propane tank. And I shit you not, sitting at the propane tank was a case of bottled root beer. This is where the propane tank was. It was kind of back, like closer to the woods back there. And with what I mentioned about how we could see when people would come in the little neighborhood area, there were no headlights. No one had gone in or out. It was a very small area. No one had gone in and out for like a while. We had dogs. The dogs did not freak out. There was no barking randomly to like let us know someone was on our property or something. I asked my grandma about it a few years ago, and she told me she has no fucking idea what that was about. It wasn't some elaborate setup that was just well timed. She had nothing to do with it. She had no fucking idea. My brother was also a kid, so obviously, but he also didn't know what was going on. So I think I was probably given like one wish when I was born, and I used it on root beer.
This is why I don't like these Labubu dolls, because it's too close to Pazuzu, the smiling demon. This is really scary.
What happened?
His eye just turned green.
What do you mean they turned green?
Oh, hell no.
Don't throw it to me! What happened?
It just turned green and I was cleaning my room.
What do you mean it turned green?
It's his eye.
His eye?
Yeah. Here. It's actually getting too small.
That concludes our creepy compilation for today. If you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. But if you want to keep it going right now, you can check out this video or this playlist.